point?
I'm Carol Kerwin. Nice to meet you.
Carol. So, what brings you to the lesson tee today?
Well, I've been thinking about getting a lesson for a while. I haven't had one for a few years, and I always wanted a woman because women, I think, understand how a woman's body works more than men do.
Awesome. Yeah.
So, that's
Same
one
body
reason.
parts?
Yeah, same body parts, but I think our hips and all do a little,
Right.
work a little differently.
Right. Okay.
And so that was one of the reasons. The other reason is I feel I should be better than I am. I've been playing, I haven't been playing that long, but I still think I should be better. I'm very inconsistent. One day I can go out and hit the ball nicely, and the next time I'm horrible. You know, I hit the ground or whatever. I never know when I'm going to hit a good shot or when I'm going to hit a bad shot or why.
Okay.
So,
And so, how long have you been playing?
well, I probably started playing about 10 years ago.
And how many lessons?
Well, I started off with 6 private ones, which didn't work well because I think the pro was too good.
You never know. Yeah. Okay.
You know, I never felt like I got the concept. Then I took some group lessons, and I think they were good because you learn from each other.
Right.
You know,
Absolutely. Yep.
While he was discussing something with someone else, I went, oh, that makes
I hear
sense.
that
I'm
a
not
lot.
doing it.
Yeah.
So they really helped. And then I took a lesson here or there, but I probably haven't had one for 3 years, and I think it shows. I don't know if I ever had my swing grooved or if it's just deteriorated or sometimes we watch videos on, we watch Hank Haney or Daryl Klassen or some of those other guys, and they all seem to have different viewpoints.
Right.
One says the LPGA is the PGA is the way you have to go, and the other guy says, they're telling you the wrong thing.
Right.
So somewhere in the middle, in the midst of all of that, I've gotten confused.
Okay. That's okay. Well, what do you have any physical limitations? Are you pretty fit and strong?
Yeah.
Okay.
I do a lot of I play tennis, I rollerblade, I ski a lot, I walk a lot. I do a lot of things. I tore my ACL 20 years ago.
Okay. But does it bother you
No.
ever when you're playing golf with
No.
balance or strength
No.
or anything like that?
No.
Okay, cool.
So,
Equipment.
okay.
Did you get fitted for your equipment?
No.
No. Okay.
I believe my husband just went, she'll love these.
Okay. So
And I have lovely clubs, I think.
Right.
But I was never really fitted for.
Okay.
You mean the height? I may have tried it out at a golf shop
Yeah.
or something, but no, I've never really been professional.
So you kind of have like a little. You've got a 5, a 7, a 9, a pitching wedge, 56 sand driver. So, I mean, as far as like if you were to rank yourself from a scale of like 1 meaning super duper beginner, 10 like super advanced, where would you kind of place
I'm
yourself?
in the middle,
So like a 5.
probably.
Okay. So I would consider, as we move through today's lesson, future lessons, depending on, what some of your long-term goals are, is that we look at maybe looking at your equipment and getting you in maybe a little bit of a fuller set. But we'll kind of
Okay.
see after
Okay.
this lesson. Okay?
All right.
Because getting fitted, so come on over here. So getting fitted is super, super important.
Okay.
Okay. So a question for you. So when you talk about, when we first started talking about, what do you want to work on, what your goals are, you said you're inconsistent, which is kind of a buzzword in golf. So when you say inconsistent, can you describe what that feels like or looks like to you when you're playing?
Well, one shot's good, the next shot's terrible.
Meaning it's rolling, you're topping it, it's going to the right, to the left,
All of those.
all of the above.
Normally I hit pretty straight, except sometimes I hit my irons left.
Okay.
I think I must.
Okay.
And I think I've taken the club back way too far.
Okay.
Which
So you
some
might
people
overswing a little bit. Okay.
Yeah. And I don't think I always get my body into it enough.
Okay.
I think I'm just doing it with my
That's
arms.
good to know. Okay.
And I don't think I keep my arms straight enough.
Okay. And we'll see that. We'll
Okay,
kind of
yeah.
see it.
Okay.
So from a short-term goal today, a lot, again, inconsistency can mean so many different things for so many different people. If if you were to go out and play tomorrow, what would be one thing that you would like to see improve?
I think I'd like to hit my driver longer.
Okay, so
Because sometimes I hit my 5-wood further than my driver.
so maybe for today,
Okay.
and again, this is totally up to you.
Okay.
A short-term goal today is to hit your driver further, or maybe better contact with your irons. Like, what would make your experience more positive?
I'd like to hit my driver better.
Okay, so from a short-term perspective today, we'll get you to hit your driver better, meaning further.
Right.
Do you know how far you hit it now?
Not far enough.
Like 100, 150?
Oh, in the middle.
About in the middle?
Yeah.
Okay.
It depends if I hit it well or if I hit it poorly.
Okay, so let's say you hit your driver, what do you hit it, you think 125?
Yeah.
What would be better long-term?
150.
150. Perfect. So kind of a long-term goal. It's good to kind of have short-term goals and be kind of specific. Today we're going to get you to say, okay, out of 10 drives, maybe 4 of those are 150 yards. And we'll kind of measure too and kind of see what the distance is.
Okay.
As far as a long-term goal, what would that do to your actual game itself, you think?
Well, it would probably make me feel better because when you're playing and you hit your drive
Great.
poorly,
Great.
it kind of makes you feel badly for the next shot.
Yeah, so kind of mentally, it's going
Right.
to make it a little bit more positive
Right.
for you today.
Right.
Okay. So as far as kind of warm up, I know you hit a few balls.
Yeah.
Do you do any specific stretches before you play?
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
very bad. Well, sometimes I do.
Okay.
Sometimes I do. I like to, just swing it like a baseball bat or something,
Okay.
just to warm up.
Okay.
And I really don't do
Okay. I'm going to show you, because we're going to
Okay.
use the driver, which is
Alright.
the biggest club in your
Right.
bag, right?
Right.
Requires the biggest amount
Right.
of range of motion. So we're going to open up the hips a little bit. You're going to kind of, do you practice yoga?
Not
Not yet?
current.
No, I'm just
I
kidding.
used to.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
So we're going to do, and you can always, if you want to grab a club, you can always use a club to
Right.
kind of help you balance.
All right.
We're going to do some hip openers, maybe a little bit of your hamstrings and quadriceps, and then I'm
Okay.
going to kind of observe your drive, and we'll kind
Okay.
of start from there. So I like to do, this is called kind of figure 4 to open up the hips. So bend your right knee good. Yeah, you feel that in your outer hip? This is a good one. And this also kind of sees where your balance is, which by the way is great. And then I like to grab maybe the top of my foot after that. And
The other one?
Same leg. There you go. Quadriceps. Good. Okay. Awesome. I try to stretch at least 3 to 5 minutes even before I hit golf balls. Super important, just from injury perspective. Especially today, the driver again is such a big swing. You want to make sure you're warmed up.
We're not good. I'm not a good stretcher. I don't do it often. I don't do it before I ski very much. I mean, maybe a minute.
Yeah. Well, and the thing about flexibility is it can improve your strength by almost 10%. Yeah, because it lengthens the muscles.
Okay. Well, I
Super
do.
important.
Sometimes I go to stretching class
Yeah.
or do stretches.
Yeah.
It's not like I just haven't been to yoga.
Yeah. Okay. And then I like to just do some hamstring stuff, hinging from the hips a little bit, allowing the hamstrings to open up.
I have tight hamstrings.
I think most people like that. And then I might just maybe do some shoulder stuff. No shoulder injury, anything like that.
Actually, I have a massage right after.
That's perfect. Good. Yeah, when I've worked with my driver, it's been okay. Feel pretty warmed up? All right, one quick question.
All right.
When you're out playing, how do you know when you had a really good golf shot?
It goes far and straight.
So you're visual. You're probably visual. This
Okay.
tells me what kind of learner you are. Like as
Okay.
far as you're probably pretty visual. So when we're working together today, it's important for me to give you some good visuals.
My husband likes to watch videos and read books, and he learns that way.
Yeah.
That means nothing to me. I have to feel it.
You're probably kind of visual and feel.
Yeah,
a little bit.
I definitely
Okay.
need
Awesome.
to feel it.
Okay.
The other thing is, I don't look like the people on me. I don't look like good people on a driving range.
Well,
There are a lot of bad people.
Yeah.
I don't think I follow through as well or hit the ball in the right place.
and again,
Okay.
we'll see.
You'll
So
see.
you didn't get fitted for your driver, so we're just going to use the driver that you have today, which is a nice pink driver, and it's a ladies shaft, so that's fine. All right, if you like it. You never know, we may change. Okay, so what I want you to do is, I want you to just do kind of your pre-shot routine, whatever that is. If you and I are playing, you know, before, I don't know if you get behind, I don't know what tee height you like, so I'm going to kind of watch you from the front,
Okay.
and then I'm going to look at you from down the line, and then we're just going to kind of get you into a good setup, and then we're going to work on what we can do in your golf swing to help you gain more distance.
Okay. So, what would you like me to do? Swing?
Yeah, however, you know, I can move your clubs. I'll move your clubs.
Okay.
Yeah. And you can scoot up a little bit. Yeah, okay. So whatever your pre-shot routine is. Okay. So again, I'm just going to watch you.
Normally what I do is I set up,
Okay.
and I have a tendency in golf and tennis
Right.
to over grip. So one of the things I do after I bend and do all that is tell myself to let my hands hang and loosely grip the ball.
Good. That's excellent because that helps you relax.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. Okay, so what's your target? You usually find a target first?
I guess I'd be hitting probably that ball on the right. You want me to
So,
hit it with the flag?
long-term target. So let's say that blue post is about 120,
Oh, okay.
125.
All right.
The green behind it's about 150.
Okay.
So let's just kind of see where you are, and we're going to kind of use those two from a visual perspective to start to see where your distance is.
All right.
Okay?
All right.
Okay.
So I'll be aiming for that blue one. You want me to hit?
Yeah, I want you to. Yep, I want you to do what you normally do, and I'll observe. Okay. All right. So on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you rank that?
Compared to what I normally do?
Yeah, just right now.
4.
4. Okay, just doing it. We're gonna hit about 4. About
Okay.
4 shots.
Oh, whoops.
Okay, that's okay.
That would be a 1.
That would be a wow.
Whoa.
You hit the big ball first. Okay.
What did I do?
Well, we say the big ball, the earth.
Oh.
You hit the earth first. It's okay.
Yeah. That
It happens.
I guess it does. All right.
Okay.
Not very good.
That's okay. One more.
But that's why I'm here.
Yeah, I feel like, and again, I don't know what your thoughts are, but from a directional standpoint,
I'm
how do you-
off?
No, I'm asking you, what do you think, your direction is?
You mean how I've been hitting?
Yeah. You have,
Well.
directionally, what I'm saying is you're not spraying it right or left. So I'm saying you're at least kind of straight.
I'm normally straighter than.
Yeah, so
kind
you're
of this,
straight.
But
So again, distance is what we're going for. Okay.
well, straight would help too.
Right. It's okay. 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 So, what we're going to work on, setup first.
Okay.
So, I am a very foundational teacher, whether you are a scratch player or a beginner. We're going to go back to
Okay.
grip, stance, posture,
Okay.
number one. And then from a swing perspective, the one thing that we're going to work on for the next few minutes is shortening your backswing.
Yeah.
Okay?
Okay.
And so what that does, so what I want you to do is just kind of stand back there and you can just kind of observe me.
Okay.
So right now, you're fine, you're good. So right now, what I see is really hunched over. So you have a lot of spine angle this way. This club is long, so we need to be a little bit more upright
Okay.
and need to extend the arms a little bit more. Here's why.
Okay.
Length from you and the club and width from you and the body. So if you're here and their hands are close and the club is too far, you're losing width and length. Okay, so we're going to get you a little bit taller. Okay. Secondly is we're going to set it up so that I'm going to have you tilt slightly to the right, and the reason for this is it's going to give you a little bit more power. When you're striking the golf ball with your irons, we're actually swinging down,
Right.
okay? The driver, because the driver is so far forward inside your left foot, we are creating contact on the upswing. So what I like to teach, and this is the way I do it too, is just getting you a little bit more upright and tilted a little bit to the right, so you can kind of set up and get some power on your right side. Okay? That's your setup. Now, when you overswing, so bigger is not necessarily better in golf. I like to teach a compact backswing because it helps you control it.
Right.
And when we have more control, we're more what? Consistent, right?
Right.
Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna start with your setup, and then what we're gonna do is work on kind of a half, it's gonna feel like a half backswing, and then we're gonna kind of see what happens with the distance. Okay, it's gonna feel weird, it's gonna feel different. Okay, so first setup, getting you a little bit taller, getting you a little bit of weight on your right side, and your backswing is, I don't even want you to think about going parallel, because right now what happens is when you flip your wrist, you lose leverage.
That's what I do.
Yeah, and then you kind of throw the club.
Right.
Okay, so now we're going to shorten it, create leverage and power, so you can extend and get a lot more power towards your target, which in turn will create more distance. Okay? So let's just start with your setup, and then I'm going to give you a drill that we're going to do today and that you can use when you're playing. Okay? All right. So from a visual perspective, you're going to look taller and feel taller. Okay?
People keep saying, bend more.
Well, with your irons, you're over the ball and your hands hang underneath your shoulders because we're swinging down. With the driver, your arms are more extended away from the body because we're striking the ball on the upswing.
So I will way too close to my body.
Yes. Yep, a little bit. Okay? So you're going to feel like your arms are extended. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to use the tee and pretend like that's the ball.
Right.
And again, I don't know, is that tee height good for you? Yeah. Okay. All right. So go ahead and set up.
All right.
Okay, so again,
so I'm like this. I should be out like
a little bit, yeah. So what I tell my students is you shouldn't feel like you're reaching. You should feel like your arms are extended. Okay. Make sense? Yeah. Reaching would kind of be like falling.
Like that.
Yes.
Yeah. So this is,
yep. Good. Okay. All right. And I'm even going to have a little higher. So you're going to feel like there's kind of this straighter line than this dropping action that you had in. So visually.
And you know, I think I've heard in the past, maybe that's just with irons to put it.
Yes.
Oh,
it's okay.
With irons, okay, but not with this.
Nope, because we want the club face to be square at address, because you know the square we can hit it on the face, the better the distance, right? Okay. So set up, then you're just going to have a little tilt. No. So hips are going to move slightly to the right, teeny bit, good. Okay. Now that's your setup.
Really?
Yep.
Okay.
Soften your knees, and then make sure your weight's toward the balls of your feet, not your heels. Good. Okay. Now step away and do that 2 more times. Okay. And this is also something I'm going to talk a little bit about pre-shot routine that you can incorporate. Good. Soften the knees. Good. Weight toward the balls of your feet. Okay. Good. Step back and do it again.
Oh wait, I didn't.
Did you tilt? No. And again,
tilt
it's
or swing.
Nope. So if you think about your sternum as the focal point, you're just going to tilt and just feel a little bit of weight on your right quadricep.
Oh, okay.
Okay, like skiing?
Yeah.
Right? So it's going to be more inside right edge than the outside.
Oh, okay.
Perfect. Okay.
Oh, I didn't do that. Okay.
Good. Okay, step back. Right? Okay, one more time.
All right. See, someone told me, if you want to know, that a girl should
squeeze the boobs?
Yeah.
No,
It's
no.
Women
Women
so
have
that's
really,
why I'm so little, I guess.
maybe,
You know.
but it's hard to swing under them.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, and you're not huge.
No.
Okay. So just kind of walk me through it. Talk yourself through it.
All right, I'm going to bend a little with these straight arms out. Tilt a little on the right. Right on the balls of my foot, but a little more on the right.
Yes.
Okay.
Good. Okay. Relax. So now you've got your setup.
Okay.
Tilt way to the right. Now what I'm going to have you do, because you have a good golf swing, you have these great foundations, you have a wonderful finish. I want you to swing your driver like you're doing a half a swing.
Okay.
It's going to feel like a full swing to you, but by no means do I want you to see your club visually out of your left eye.
You know, am I supposed to keep my wrist? See, I think half of my problem with the long is because I bend my wrist, and maybe you shouldn't.
Well, just again, going back to do a half swing and the wrists will do what they need to do. Because that's kind of a whole separate component.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Okay, so do your setup. And just give me, you know, a nice drive with a half backswing and a full finish. Okay, that's okay. I still want you to turn your body like you normally
Okay.
do. You're just not going to feel like the club goes back as far. Okay? So just think of a half swing, but still use the body. Get your setup. Good. Oh, did you see the club?
No, was it way back?
Yeah. So this is what we're going to do.
And I missed the ball.
That's okay. So from a drill perspective, let's go ahead and stand over there
All
again.
right.
So what I'm going to have you do, let's say 2 times,
All right.
is you're going to take the club back and you're going to stop. Your left shoulder will be behind the golf ball, so your
Okay.
back is to your target. But look where my hands are.
Yeah.
And then you're going to bring the club back down. Half backswing, which feels like a full swing. And you can actually see your shadow. This is good. Extend your arms back down. Half backswing. Extend your arms back down. And then half.
That's what I want to do.
Okay? Hit the ground. Anyway, that's okay. Okay? So this is going to be a drill. This is going to actually be part of your pre-shot routine that
Okay.
we'll go over toward at the end.
All right.
Now, if we don't necessarily get to that 150-yard marker, I'd like to
Oh,
see
that's
at
right.
least a couple, which
Yeah.
would be great. From a short-term perspective, I think we can do it.
All right. So, let's see here.
Take it back. Good, good. Nice turn. There's your backswing. Good. Come back down. Don't hit the ball. Just come back down like you normally would. Turn. Good. Again. Set back up. Good. Yeah, you might not. I mean, for you, if the feeling is too much hinge, then try to feel less hinge. Back down. Good. One more time. Good. Back down. Okay. Now reposition yourself and set up. Same movement. Still get a nice shoulder turn and take the club halfway back. Hands are a little bit higher. Oh, did you see the club again?
Did it go back?
Yep. This is a tough one. This is a tough one.
Thought I stopped, so.
It's okay. I'm going to have you, so extend the arms, feel a little bit taller. Good. I'm going to have you just stop in your backswing. Take the club back and stop. Good. Now pause here. Now swing. Okay, that's okay. This is a little challenging. You'll get it.
I think half of it's my hands really.
Relax the grip. Pause again at the top. Pause. Okay. Too much. Good. Through. Okay. That was better. Better contact. Okay. So shortening your backswing is really, really difficult, I think, for people that have overswung for so long.
Yeah.
So again, from a short-term goal perspective, it's going to probably, again, if we can get at least 1 or 2 150. Okay.
Well,
So walk me through your setup again.
all right.
It's okay.
I don't know why that.
It's tough.
Is that because? Well, whatever.
Yeah. And again, actually keep talking. That's because what?
I'm used to having a bigger swing, so I'm not making.
Yep.
In my bad swing, I at least contact something.
There, that was better. Okay, good. Good, good, good. Okay. Still a little bit of an overswing.
Yeah.
You got to about 125. Not sure we'll make the 150 today, but I think more short term, you know, shortening the backswing and making good contact. A little bit higher. Short.
The rest of my body isn't getting into it either.
Yeah, again, like
do one thing.
Well, and we talked a little bit, you kind of talked about the arm swinging.
Yeah.
And that arm swinging is what's happening.
Oh, okay.
So as we turn the body and shorten the backswing, so still make a good turn. Pause in your backswing. Pause. Okay. Weights on your right second. Good. And swing. There, that was better contact. Good. Awesome.
All right.
Okay. Let's do
Well,
one
I
more.
wasn't turning my body. I
Yes.
think it was so concentrating on my arms that, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. Okay, let's try two more. Turn and shorten your backswing.
That was a big backswing.
That was a big backswing. Okay.
Lord almighty, yeah.
So from distance, we didn't quite get there. Okay. So this is what I'm going to have you practice.
All right.
Because long term, I definitely think that you can get off the tee and get a little bit further. It's
Yeah.
just kind of gaining some
Right.
control. So what you can do from a drill perspective, not only can you practice this, is from a drill perspective, when you're practicing on the range, you can do the old set up first, tilt right, short backswing, left shoulder behind the ball, extend down your target line. You can also incorporate that in a pre-shot routine,
Okay.
meaning that you and I are playing, right? I set up, let's say, I like to have people do their pre-shot routine kind of behind the ball,
Okay.
but for today, for time's sake, you can stay
Right.
over here. You
Right.
might say, okay, before each drive, I'm going to practice my setup. I'm going to do one practice swing and make sure my back is to my target. I'm not over swinging. Turn my belly to my target and finish. Okay? So what that helps with, we talked about this at the beginning of the lesson, is consistency. Because if you're repeating it when you're playing and you're practicing it, it's going to start to show up.
Okay.
So from a short-term perspective, we didn't quite make our short-term goal, which is okay. Are you okay with that? Okay. Long-term is as you continue to practice this good solid turn, short backswing, you should be getting more distance.
Okay.
Okay. So tell me how that feels to you from like a playing perspective, lesson perspective, to kind of wrap it up.
Well, I know I have two way too big a backswing.
Right.
And when it's working and it comes back and I make contact, it goes well, but I know it's not right. I think today I also was not as relaxed, and I don't think I was turning as much.
Okay.
Sometimes when you have too many thoughts in your head.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's a good point.
But that's good because I have something to work on and something to practice, and I obviously need a short backswing.
Yeah, so maybe the two things, like what would be two things that you would take away from today with your driver swing? Not necessarily the setup, because and again,
Right.
do you feel like you're pretty good with the setup?
Yeah, I
Comfortable?
think I need to work on a shorter backswing.
Okay.
And then, what I was saying is when you're working on the shorter backswing, you forget about
Right.
turning and hitting the ball.
Right.
You're so concentrated here, you forget about that. And
Right.
I think I was doing that as I was hitting today.
Yeah, and
I
even
was thinking about this and not.
right. Well, and that always
Right.
happens in a
Yeah,
lesson, right?
so of course.
And I would even say like two things would be a good turn with your left shoulder. Right. So visually, your left shoulder would
Right.
be behind the golf ball,
Right.
back to your target.
Okay.
And then you can even take a look up. Okay, club feels short, turn through, finish.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So a lot of times when I do full hour lessons, I'll give you notes, and I
Uh-huh.
can write all this stuff
Yeah.
down when we wrap
Right,
it up.
right.
So you'll walk away with two things to focus on,
Right.
and then the drill.
Okay.
Okay, does that sound good?
It sounds wonderful because I've gotten into a bad pattern.
Yeah, that's okay. I mean,
Bad habits, bad everything.
yeah,
So,
and give yourself a little bit of a break and know that it takes a little bit of time to have the change occur. But physically you have a good golf swing. I think mentally you're positive about it.
Yeah.
And then starting with the driver, and then if you decide to come back, we can work
Yeah.
more with irons.
Definitely.
Like that.
definitely. Okay.
Good. All right.
Thanks so much. It was nice
welcome.
meeting you.
Okay.
And,